You always read about it. The plumber with 12 children who wins the Irish sweepstakes. From toilets to riches. That story. Or the nursemaid, some luscious sweet from Denmark who captures the youngest son's heart. From diapers to Dior. That story. Or the milkman who serves the wealthy eggs, cream, butter, yogurt, and milk. The truck like a white ambulance who goes into real estate and makes a pile. From homogenized to martinis at lunch. Or the charms woman who's on the bus when it cracks up and collects enough money from the insurance. From mops to bondswood teller. That story. The wife of a rich man was on her deathbed, and she said to her daughter Cinderella, "Be devout, be good, and I will smile down from heaven through the seam of a cloud." The man took another wife who had 2 daughters. Pretty enough, but with hearts like blackjacks. Cinderella was their maid. She slept each night on the sooty hearth and walked around looking like Al Jolson. Her father would bring home presents from town, jewels and gowns for the other women, but the twig of a tree for Cinderella. She planted that twig on her mother's grave, and it grew into a tree where a white dove sat. Whenever she wished for anything, the dove would drop it to the ground like an egg. The dove is important, my dears, so heed him. Next came the ball, as you all know. It was a marriage market. The prince was looking for a wife. All but Cinderella were preparing and gussing up for the event. Cinderella begged to go too. Her stepmother threw a dish of lentils into the cinders and said, "Pick them up in an hour and you shall go." The white dove brought all of his friends. All the warm wings of the featherlands came and picked up the lentils in a jiffy. "No, Cinderella," said the stepmother. "You have no clothes and cannot dance." That's the way with stepmothers. Cinderella went to the tree at the grave and cried forth like a gospel singer, "Mamma, mamma, my turtle dove, send me to the prince's ball." The bird dropped down, a golden dress and delicate little slippers. Quite a large package for a simple bird. So she went, which is no surprise. Her stepmother and sisters didn't recognize her without her cinder face. The prince took her by the hand on the spot and danced with none other the whole night. As nightfall came, she thought she'd better get home. The prince walked her home, and she disappeared into a pigeon house, and even though the prince broke it open with an axe, she was gone, back to her cinders. These events repeated themselves for 3 days. However, on the 3rd day, the prince covered the palace steps with cobbler's wax, and Cinderella's golden shoe stuck upon it. Now he would find whom the shoe fit and find his strange dancing girl for keeps. He went to their house, and the 2 sisters were delighted because they had lovely feet. The oldest sister went into a room to try the slipper on, but her big toe got in the way, so she simply sliced it off and put the slipper on. The prince rode away with her until the bird told him to look down at the blood pouring forth. That's the way with amputations, they just don't heal up like a wish. The other sister sliced off her heel, but blood told as blood will. The prince was getting tired. He began to feel like a shoe salesman, but he gave it one last try. This time Cinderella fit into the shoe like a love letter into its envelope. At the wedding ceremony, the 2 sisters came to curry favor, and the white dove pecked their eyes out. 2 hollow spots were left like soup spoons. Cinderella and the prince lived, they say, happily ever after, like 2 dolls in a museum case, never bothered by diapers or dust, never arguing over the timing of an egg, never telling the same story twice, never getting a middle-aged spread, and their darling smiles pasted on for eternity, regular Bobbsey twins. That story.